allowed. We are allowed to be sad, to cry, to feel anxious. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope 2020 isn't treating you too bad. So as you could probably see from like the title of today's video, it's kind of different and it doesn't give a lot of detail, and that's because I don't know where it's gonna go. My friend Mallory, she's a really good friend of mine. I love her to pieces. She made a video recently on her own YouTube channel that talked about her mental health this whole year and what's been happening in her life this whole year. And shout out to you, my love. You've been through a lot and I love you, and you inspired me to make this video. Everyone thinks that I'm a very bubbly, positive, happy person all the time, 25/7. Everyone thinks that I'm always happy and bubbly, which is true because that's what I portray to others. That's what I want others to see. But not everyone really knows how I feel once I walk through the door of my house every day. So the beginning of this year was really just, you know, for everyone, for the whole globe. The beginning of this year kind of just hit us. We didn't know that COVID was going to strike. We didn't know all the changes that were ahead of us in 2020. But for me personally, I feel like I wasn't prepared for all the stuff that happened. Just to sum it all up, I've lost a lot of people, very important people who did have an impact on my life, and the people I love have lost a lot of people unexpectedly as well. And I'm a very empathetic person, so I feel deeply for others, especially if I care about you or I love you. I feel for you like if what happened to you happened to me. It's really draining to always uphold a certain persona. Is that a good way to say it? A persona that you have to be happy and bubbly and your life's perfect and you don't let stuff bother you. But that's just not the case with me. And I made this video because I want others to know that we're stronger than anything that hits us. We are more than the situation that we're dealing with. But sometimes it's draining to pretend like you're one way all the time when deep down you're feeling just depressed, or you feel anxious, or you're sad, but you just don't want others to know. And that's something I could definitely resonate with. So anyways, like I said, a lot of people I love have lost people, and it's been killing me because I feel their pain on top of the losses that I've endured this year. I feel for myself and for everyone I care about. So at the beginning of this year, I actually had my first panic attack, and let me tell you, I didn't know my anxiety was that bad that I would ever have one, but it's scary. That shit is scary. I was just sitting at the kitchen table doing my homework, and all of a sudden I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch it. You know when you're scared about something and you feel like you have to breathe faster? That's what I was doing involuntarily. Like I couldn't control it. And all of a sudden I started crying because I didn't know what was happening. It's like my body was shutting down. And then my body started shaking. And not even to sound exaggerative, I didn't know what triggered it. But you feel like you're gonna die. You feel, even though you know it's not gonna happen, your body is still reacting like if it's trying to fight something. Like you're fighting for your life. And that's why the body just starts acting out. And that was scary. Oh my God. I remember I was sitting in my bathroom. My mom gave me a brown paper bag, and I had to breathe within the bag. And believe it or not, that actually helps. So if you're a person who has had a panic attack before and you didn't know what to do, try just getting a bag and breathing in and out through the bag. It controls the amount of air that you get. And I did that for like, I don't know, like maybe like an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I'm not really sure. But that was scary. And that was just a really shitty way to start the year. I never thought I would have a panic attack, but that kind of pushed me into a direction where I wanted to learn how to stop stress from taking over me as a person, and my mind and my heart and my breathing. I'm already an anxious person every other day of the freaking year. I did not want to have panic attacks all the time, and I was not going to make it a part of my anxiety routine. That's for sure. So that's one really big life-changing thing that happened this year of 2020. I lost a very a very good friend of mine. She was actually my colleague. Any of my classmates that are watching, you know who I'm talking about. She was a very smart, beautiful hearted girl. She was battling cancer at the time, and she was still in nursing school. Now, if you're in nursing school, you know that battling something as serious as cancer and taking on all the stress of nursing school is not easy. But she was doing it, and she was doing the damn thing. She was passing, she was getting good grades, and we found out this summer that she had passed away due to her battle of cancer. And that was tough, because she was someone who never showed what was going on. She never complained. She was very happy, and we miss her. Yeah, that was one loss, one personal loss for me. So after that, one of my really good friends lost her friend, and like I said, I feel so deeply. So I didn't get to mourn the friend that I just lost before my really close friend lost that person from their life. So I wasn't fully done grieving. And then I felt the pain. I felt it like if it was me. I felt all the pain that she was going through, losing someone she was close to. And that makes you feel like, I can't explain it. If you're a very empathetic person, then you know what it's like when someone you care about is going through something. You feel like if it's you, and your heart starts to pound, you get sad. I was crying. I didn't really know this person personally, but it's someone she was close to, and someone that was a part of her, like, you know, weekly life, and someone who was always incorporated since they were, I guess, like teenagers. And when I heard her cry, and I called her and we were talking, I couldn't help but just cry with her, let her know that I'm here. I took it very personally. So there's just one loss after another, and having to be strong for her was really hard, because I was dealing with the loss too, but I didn't want to put that on her as well. Then after that, I actually lost my father of August 25th. He took his own life, basically. That is where things kind of turned for me. I got very depressed. I got very depressed. My cousin, actually from his side of the family, called me. She was very kind in her delivery, very sweet in her delivery of telling me that my father had took his own life, and I couldn't believe it. The pain was so unbearable, knowing that I didn't talk to my father on a daily basis. I had, just due to our relationship, I didn't pick up certain phone calls. I ignored certain messages. It was just so sudden that I felt like everything at that moment was just like crashing. That pain of regret is something that takes time. He's my dad, you know. He gave me life. He was a part of, he believe it or not, I have certain things of him, even though I wasn't raised with him by my side, that I still have qualities of him. He's the reason why I'm living. And that was just, it's life-changing. And if you've lost a parent, you know the pain I'm talking about, whether they were in your life every day or not. It's something that is not, sorry, I'm getting like really anxious just talking about it, but it's something that you need support. My family was very supportive. My friends, you know, answered my phone calls, you know, cried with me, felt my pain, and that was so comforting to know that I have people around me that love me enough to listen to me, to listen to the memories that I do remember of me and him. And ever since he's passed, I've tried looking at life through a different lens. You know, it taught me to pick up that phone call, even if you're mad at each other. Say I love you. You know, don't take those opportunities. Don't take those opportunities for granted. Say I love you. If you are pissed off at someone, say I'm sorry first. There's no harm in that. You never know when you're gonna lose somebody. Ever. If I knew my dad was gonna take his own life, you guys, I would have picked up the phone call that he called me on Father's Day. But instead, I was being too ignorant. Now, I will never know what he was going to tell me in that phone call. And when someone commits suicide, you never know if you attributed to it. Deep down, you know it probably didn't have anything to do with you, but you honestly never know. And I'll never be able to talk to him to ask him what he was feeling at that time. My family, from my dad's side, has been the biggest blessing of my life. I gained a whole family due to his loss, and you won't understand it unless you were me or my family, so I can't really explain it in depth, but his passing allowed me to get closer with them, and I'm so grateful to him for that. I can't thank him enough. And I just wish I spoke to him more. I wish I just gave him a chance. So that news has brought me to therapy. I actually started therapy after his passing, and one of the best decisions I made. I called them as soon as I know he passed, and I got very depressive. In school, my grades were starting to, I was starting to fail, basically, without putting, sugarcoating it. I was failing. I wouldn't eat. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't. But my family was very kind. They sent me his ashes in a beautiful rose. Oh, hold on, I'll show it to you. It's beautiful. So his ashes are actually in here at the top, and it's a beautiful rose, you guys. I cherish it. He's always up there on my mantle. It's beautiful. So yeah, that was another big thing that caused me to spiral within this year, was his loss. Not too long after that, my friend also lost another person from her life. Again, she was just such a mess, and I love her, and I just had to be strong for her. I had to, even though I was going through my own thing and I was still depressive and I was still sad, I had to be strong. And I called her and made sure she was okay, gave her my shoulder to cry on the same way she did with me. Yeah, very hard, very hard. After that, actually, not even, I think it was actually last week, we found out my uncle has passed away in jail, my mom's baby brother. It's just, it's like a domino effect, and it's really hard to stay strong when you feel like you're losing people left and right, back to back. I can't maintain this happy, bubbly person knowing everything around me is starting to change, and I can't ignore the change. But with my uncle's passing, my mom took it so hard, you guys. She took it so hard, and she's still grieving, and we're all still grieving. But I have to be her rock, and I am doing a little bit better with therapy. I'm attending every Thursday, speaking with my therapist, who is amazing. She's so kind, and she's teaching me how to grieve easier, how to breathe and be mindful of how I'm feeling at a certain moment, and just basically helping me grow. So I really love therapy, and I recommend it to everyone. Don't put a stigma with therapy. If you need it, just go. It's not the best mistake, sorry. It's the best decision you will ever make. And I'm a better person because of it. So my family alone has dealt with so much within such a short amount of time. Now that I basically told you everything in a nutshell of what this year has been, I have messages just from my heart to anyone who's dealing with it. Basically just for everyone who's living in 2020, okay? No regrets. I just want to say that. Do not have any regrets. Do what you're feeling. Don't wait. Because if you wait, you might lose that opportunity. For example, I wanted, this past year before COVID, I was supposed to go to Puerto Rico to go visit my family and meet my dad's family and, you know, talk to my father as a grown woman, you know, with my own biases and my own opinions, and just talk to him as a grown woman, you know. COVID got in the way of that. So just unfortunately he took his life, so I lost that opportunity. That's what killed me. That's what still breaks my heart, is that I was so close to just asking him questions, figuring out who he was, finding out our similarities, and I lost that opportunity. That is one of the reasons why I took his death so hard, besides the fact of him being my father. I lost the chance of a lifetime. Conversations I could have had with him. I was too selfish or too arrogant to pick up the phone call. Now I'll never hear his voice again. Take each and every opportunity. You never know when you'll see that person again. Ever. And I mean that. Don't hold grudges. If you're feeling a certain type of way about somebody, let them know. There's no harm in that. You got it off your chest. My mom, when it comes to my uncle, she's so grateful that he called her every day and that he poured out his feelings to her about her and told her that he loved her, he was grateful for her, he cares about her so much. And as much as that pains her, you guys, it's better than her having an argument with him and him calling her like a bitch or something. You never know. Take every opportunity to say I love you. Give them a hug. If you're arguing, don't go another 10 minutes without talking to each other. Go talk to them. I cannot express this enough. And if you're somebody who has anxiety or you suffer from depression, you know, get help. And I'm not kidding. Like, get help. I struggle with both right now. And I'm tired. I'm so tired of having to be this bubbly, happy person all the time because people just know me as the happy girl. We're allowed time to just feel what we need to feel. Don't ignore emotions that are screaming for your attention. I'm human. Just period. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm not the girl that I always portray to others. Even when I'm paining inside and I want to cry, I still give my best to people. I don't want them to see me like that. But you know what? If that's how I'm feeling, I'm gonna express it. So I'm not saying that the happy part of me or the positive part of me has died. Even through these situations, I still try to maintain positivity. I don't believe in throwing out negativity back and forth to people because you don't know what someone's dealing with. It's really that simple. You don't know. People, because of the person I am and how I portray myself to others, people didn't know that my dad had just died and were calling me to vent and things like that. And I was still willing to listen to them and not talk about myself. That's changing. And I'm not going to do that again. I've learned that if I'm going to call someone to vent, I'm going to ask them like, hey, do you have the mental clarity? Do you have the mental space for me to vent to you right now? Because I'm not going to go and put my baggage on somebody without knowing what they're going through. And I wish the people in my life attain that quality and just ask somebody like, hey, are you good? Like mentally, are you okay? Can I talk to you really quick? And it's okay to say, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not okay right now. And I just can't handle what you're about to put on to me. Don't be afraid to say that. And that might be a new trend, but I'm putting my foot down. If I really can't handle it, I'm gonna let you know. And if you love and you really care about me, guess what? You're gonna appreciate that, and you're still gonna care about them, and you're still gonna check up on them. Just, you guys, this year is not playing. And for anyone who has had losses, has had pain, if you're having anxiety, if you're depressed, if you're sad, which, to be honest, most of us are, just know that I'm here. If you need someone to talk, I feel you. I poured my heart out in this video. Feel free to write me. I don't care. I really want to spread love. And I'm so empathetic that, guess what? I feel for you, and I'll be able to help you because I might understand how you feel. You never know until you speak to someone. So just feel free. I am always available to talk to anyone. Don't ever, if you're thinking about suicide, if you're thinking about doing something crazy, reach out in times like this. If you're sad or you're depressed because, like, you know, you can't go outside, you can't do certain things because of COVID, it's hard, but try to be thankful. Thankful for the fact that you're healthy and you're not sitting in a hospital battling for your life. Be thankful that you're able to be home. Yes, I know, trust me, that school on Zoom sucks. I know that not being able to go to the movies or chill with your friends. I haven't seen my friends in so long, and I hate it. I don't even know I don't even remember what life was like before all of this. But I know that my friends understand that I need to be safe. They know. And they understand. Be thankful, guys. Be thankful. Do whatever you do. Do whatever you need to do. Pray to your higher power, whoever that is. Meditate on it. Just sit there for yourself and sit in your thoughts. Heal. We need to heal from this year, you guys. It's really like, it's really one hell of a freaking year. Just take care of yourself. You first. You need to be healed before you can help heal others. And it's really that simple. You can't help someone if you don't help yourself. To be honest, I don't think I've ever allowed myself to be this vulnerable. So I'm really actually proud of myself. I took the time out to just sit here, tell you guys what I've experienced, how I felt throughout those experiences, and what I've done to help heal myself. I don't know. I really don't know what else to say, but just know that my door is always open. My DMs are always open. Messaging is always open. If you need anyone to talk to, just know that I'm here. And thanks for listening. Bye.